Hello, everyone. Welcome to Molehill Mountain episode 409. Say, have you heard? Have you heard of Musume Pretty Derby? I've heard of it. YouTube made sure of that this week. So, the inexplicable yet all-knowing algorithm has decided that I must know about Musume, which, and how it told me about this is it decided to literally litter my recommended videos with Musume content. So, near as I can tell, it is a gacha game, which means I'm immediately completely uninterested in it. So much for the all-knowing algorithm. Although it's also an anime, so maybe that's fun. So what is it? What is this Pretty Derby? Near as I can tell, it is a horse racing anime. Oh, neat. Anime girl jockeys? Is it a sports anime? Not quite. The anime girls are the horses. But by the anime girls are the horses, I mean it's just anime girls in idol outfits with horse ears and tails, and that's it. They just run around the track. No one's riding them. Although that might be pretty funny. If the anime girls had like little jockeys, or maybe horses were on them with human ears. Real horses with human ears and no tails. And they were like piggybacking him around the track. That could be funny. Or maybe if the horse girls were like the size of horses, and there were actual jockeys riding. Jared says, I watched the first episode of it, thought it was weird. It is weird. It's an anime girl gacha game. It's all it is. Well, I mean, I'm probably being reductive. That's near as I can tell just from the videos that littered my feed in the context and the title, Musume Pretty Derby. And on first read, because of the font and the coloring and the placement that they used for the logo, my first read was Pretty Derpy. And I'm like, oh, Derby! I'm like, that's an interesting name. Yeah, so Horse Girl anime, or Horse Girl gacha game. So you can pay real money to gamble and hopefully get a really cute horse girl that you can, I don't know, feed carrots so she'll run around the track faster. Would not surprise me if you can date the horses. Do they whinny if you stroke their ears just right? Uh, I make fun of it, but I haven't watched this show or played the game, so maybe it's genuinely really charming. I don't know. From what I understand, all the horse girls in the game are take their design cues from real life racehorses, like Seabiscuit or something. I would not recognize a racehorse if it walked up and bit me. I'd just be like, oh, a horse. You don't recognize that horse? Nope, just a horse. It's close to a dating sim as well. Yeah, you play as the trainer. Yeah, smack them with that riding crop when they're bad. Oh, God. I haven't played the game. I'm just imagining it, and it's giving me the creeps. Oh. Well, now I know about Musume Pretty Derby, and I can just go forward ignoring it. Um, oh, what's the anime is called Cinderella something, I think. Cinderella Blue, maybe? Something like that. It's probably, I would imagine there's an actual horse named Cinderella Blue or whatever it's called, and this is just one of the characters. I wonder if they're like, do they adopt the personality of the individual racehorses? are racehorses known for having like personalities? I don't know. Like is there one racehorse that's known for biting people, and so you have one of the anime horse girls just constantly biting people? I don't know. It's I you know what? I'm wondering if it's more fun to speculate about this kind of ridiculous concept, or if I should actually just I don't know, take 20 minutes and watch some footage of someone playing the game, or watch the show. I don't know. Chaos, hello. This is someone's poorly disguised fetish. I can sum that up into one word. Anime. Oh, we it's funny because it's true. We tease because we love. Oh golly. So I will say one of the things I like about anime, one of the myriad things I like in general about anime is it will throw you a curveball on occasion. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen or what you're going to get. There could be wild tonal shifts. Um, I'll give you an example. Uh, there's a new bowling anime uh, called Turkey. And there's more words after that, but turkey's a big part of the title. For those who don't bowl, if you hit 3 strikes in a row, that's called a turkey for some reason. I'm sure it's a fascinating story behind the etymology of that word. So anyway, I was like, oh, a bowling anime. I'm sure it's fine because sports anime is just a pretty solid genre. They managed to do that with just about everything. I'm sure there's a shuffleboard anime out there somewhere. This one's covering bowling. Can the underdogs, can our group of little misfits get over their own interpersonal bullcrap to win the bowling championship? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to watch the show and find out. Well, I checked out the first episode of the bowling anime, and to be clear, I did watch the trailer for the show before I saw the show. I had, it goes triggering. I'm like, oh, is this a bowling anime? And I clicked on, oh, it's a bowling anime. How about that? Neat. And I saw it hit Crunchyroll. So I'll watch the first episode. And it ends in a way that I was not expecting because the advertising didn't give that away at all. I'm sure it's based on a manga. I'm sure if you read the manga, you'd know exactly where this is going. But I'm loath to spoil it because I was genuinely surprised. I still haven't watched episode 2. I kind of want to watch episode 2 just to see if it's sticking to the bit or not. But yeah, the bowling anime episode 1 ends in a way I definitely was not expecting. I'm not saying it's a good way. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting that. And I admire that. Um, the anime genre is closest to a high school girl sports show. There you go. Starman, hey, says, how's your sister doing? I hope your day's been bright. Yeah, day's been fine. Sister's doing well. Thanks for asking. Um, yeah, Turkey. Um, that it was a surprise. Let's see. Speaking of shows, says Jared, think you would like the summer Hikaru died, since you talk about horror entertainment. Is that the one with the? There's like this really gaunt-looking kid and like a little pink squid thing, or is that something else? The summer Hikaru died. All right. Let's see. Do 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 do. Bum de boo. Do do do. I am browsing. I am browsing. Oh, I tried that Nyant of the Living Cat, which is, I guess, zombies, but instead of zombies, it's cats. Because I mean, what's not to like? I like cats. Watched first episode, and I think it's a fun idea. I just didn't think it was that funny. I appreciate. No, I was thinking of Takopi's Original Sin. So this is Summer Hikaru died something else. All right, Turkey, Time to Strike. Okay, all right, that's unnecessary, but you know, if you're gonna have a subtitle, that's not too bad. Time to Strike. I like that. Oh, this one's got a bunch of asterisks in the title. Watari-kun's something is about to collapse. Life? Is it a bad word? What is the title supposed to be? Is it everything about Watari-kun's life that's about to collapse? I don't know. The show poster has some blonde woman holding a stick, so I don't know if poor Watari-kun's about to be bludgeoned or not. Oh, anyway, anime. It's fun, unless it sucks. Anime runs the gamut from really good to really bad, and everything in between. So it's wonderful. Golly. All right, so speaking of inexplicable algorithms, the targeted advertising algorithm, I don't think it knows what to do with me. I've seen trailers for movies and video games and stuff and said, "Oh, that looks neat. I'll have to check that out." That's like the only kind of advertising that's ever worked on me. I must be like super boring. I don't think I've ever clicked on an ad in my life. Like I so I think targeted advertising just doesn't know what to do with me because I don't engage with any of it. So the algorithm seems to have thrown up its hands, and in a last ditch effort to appeal to my inexplicable and inscrutable sensibilities, it has started advertising to me in Spanish. I mean, I applaud them thinking outside the box, but I my Spanish isn't even close to like conversational. So probably not gonna work. Like I was barely paying attention to some lady talking and I think she swore at me. I I don't know what she said because it was in Spanish. Like that's not a word I know. Didn't sound nice though. Let's see, Jared says the Summer Hikaru died is supernatural horror. All right, well, I like horror, supernatural or otherwise. Let me see where it's streaming real quick. Poor Hikaru. Summer. I turned pretty. No, that's not it. Oh, Netflix. Okay, the streaming service that is not working for me right now. Well, let me check. Is Netflix working now? Who's watching? I am. No. Your device isn't part of the Netflix household. Okay. Yeah, work to get that fixed at some point. Yeah, I know I'm not a part. Netflix is one of the services that allows you to join on another account for a nominal monthly fee. Um, but it stopped working for me. It's like, yeah, I know I'm not on the main household. I'm an additional member. So, the friend I was splitting Netflix with, uh, I'm gonna have to I tried to get on my sister's, but she can't get it to work either. So I don't know what the hell's going on. But if I ever get back on Netflix, I'll try to remember to give that a gander. But it was funny because you know, if I'm watching a show on a streaming service that does ads, I stop paying attention. I just read an article or go to the bathroom or mop my brow or get a drink or do something else. I just advert. I don't know. But half of my ads are now being served in Spanish for some reason. Uh, you know what? Maybe it will improve my Spanish vocabulary. So, probably not if I'm not paying attention to them and trying to translate in my head, but you never know. Ah. Have I ever been to London? The one here or the one across the pond? If it's across the pond, well, actually, it doesn't matter. I've never been to any place called London. If they give me another 30 days, yeah. Yeah, I got Netflix. I originally was on Netflix back, 25 years ago when it was a mailing service, when you picked a movie and they sent you the DVD through the mail. And when I first signed up for Netflix, it was 4 DVDs out at a time for, I don't know, $20 a month or something. And I was leaving town for a solid month. So I called up Netflix and I asked, could I pause it and not pay for the month that I wasn't going to be here to watch the movies? Also, I didn't want, 4 CDs sitting at home when someone else could be watching them. And they're like, no, we don't have that, but you could just cancel and re-sign up. So I did. But what they didn't tell me was that the plan I had originally signed up under was no longer available. So I gave them the middle finger and I didn't re-sign up until many years later. And I added myself to a friend's plan because it's cheaper than just buying an entire plan for myself. It's like a third the cost. Privacy sites? Do you mean piracy sites? No, I'd rather just pay for stuff. Anyway, my ads are in Spanish, so that's fun. Alright, so, if you're looking at the title of this podcast, which I thought was extremely clever, I was going to put VI for GTA 6 in the title, but VC GTA BS just read cleaner to me, which is why I didn't do that. But I thought about it. Just decided not to. So, alright. Starman, I was minus 3 years old 25 years ago. Yeah, well, I'm 45, so I'm old. And it's fun being this age because I can think of stuff that from my childhood that would weird the hell out of kids today. Like, hey kids, you've got that phone you have in your pocket? Uh-huh. Yeah, when I was a kid, phones were tethered to the wall. And there was no touch screen or anything. You couldn't browse the internet because there wasn't an internet, at least not a consumer using internet. You couldn't look. You also you had to memorize people's phone numbers, or write them down in like a Rolodex or something. Also, if someone in your home was on the phone, you couldn't use the phone. When we did get the internet, you couldn't use the internet if someone else was on the phone. I love the look of aghast horror that young children will that they can't even imagine. It's hilarious. Like if you picked up the phone receiver in a different room, you could just listen to the other. Man, they do that in movies, and I wonder if kids today would be like, I don't understand what even is happening here. You know how someone's like, oh, Jenny, the phone's for you. It's Brian. And Jenny's like, hi, Brian. And mom sneaks into the other room and lifts the phone off the receiver and listens in on the kid's conversation. Kids today be like, what is she what? How does that even work? Right? Wouldn't even play. Oh, car phones, yeah, pay phones and the brick phone, yeah, I remember car phones. You had you couldn't just bring the house phone into the car. No. You had a special phone that was attached to your car, much like the house phone was attached to the wall in your house. Ah, good times. Good times. Oh man, remember pagers? Because this was really before cell phones. Pagers were cell phones before cell phones were a thing. So you had this little mechanical doodad that when someone wanted to call you and you weren't home, you know, where the phone is tethered to the wall, you would have this little electronic device that you'd, keep in your pocket or clip to your belt or something, and it would beep at you, and it would show you a telephone number that was calling you. Hopefully you recognize the number and go, oh, that's Jim. And then you had to go find a phone, either a public payphone, or you had to go into like a restaurant and ask to use their phone, and then you'd call it back and say, oh yeah, good times. There's this video game, old video game from I think the 80s, maybe it was on like the Apple II or something like that. It's called Life or Death. It's a hospital sim type of game, and back in the 80s, computer games had inventive forms of copy protection. Usually there was something included in the game box that you had to look at and type into the game so that you could keep playing the game. So this was DRM before DRM was DRM. Well, this game had a little code wheel where it was two pieces of circular paper held together on a pivot point that you could spin so that you could line up symbols and look at the numbers, right? So during the game, while you're committing surgeries, I know, usually you'd say performing surgeries. Nah. In this game, you're committing surgery. So between missions, you as the doctor in this game would be paged. And it would give you a 3-digit number, and you'd have to use the little spinny code thingy to figure out what number to dial back. And if you didn't return your page, you'd be fired. In other words, you can't keep playing the game because you might have pirated it. Which was always kind of funny because you could murder the hell out of every single one of your patients, and they'd oh, Dr. Eisen, we do not appreciate your impression of Jack the Ripper. Nuh-uh, that's a naughty, naughty, naughty. Now get out of my office, you little scamp. But you don't return your goddamn page, they will fire your ass. And it was always something stupid. It was like, for some reason, a pizza joint was always calling you to verify a delivery or something. There was one that was like someone always wanted to play golf. It was never anything important. And that's what bothered me when I played Life or Death when I was young, is that the pages, because I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old at the time. I didn't have a concept of copy protection. It was just a really weird game mechanic that was just annoying. I'm like, what is it with this stupid game mechanic? These pages don't ever amount to anything. They're stupid. Oh, but now I know. Oh, let's see. Jared says, I played Yakuza 0, so I know all about this 80s shit. There you go. Yeah. Alright, so, GTA 6. So, GTA 6 has been announced for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. And it's going to come out next spring or something, so in 2026. Well, good old Joshua Chapman at Convoy, which is a venture capitalist firm, has predicted, he says, we predict that Grand Theft Auto 6 will sell 85 million copies in the first 60 days. So it launches in spring of 2026, and in the first 2 months, it's going to sell 85 million copies, is what this venture capitalist dipstick is guessing. I'm guessing he's wrong. Since when does the chat have a leaderboard, Chaos? Uh, Last month I think they added this. Yeah. Yeah, luckily it doesn't show up on the restream chat. I don't think. I'm pretty sure that that doesn't come in, but yeah, that's a bad move. YouTube makes only bad moves really, so it's I don't if I'm not mistaken, Rockstar has not announced a price for the game. But Josh here at Convoy, he's he calculates the monies and he's pricing the game at $80. So, um, it will sell 85 million eventually. Oh yeah. I've no doubt. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold like 150 million, but that's over 12 years. So yeah, I looked up the history of sales of Grand Theft Auto 5, and it took somewhere between 4 and 5 years to amass $85 million in sales. Josh is saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to do it in 2 months. And keep in mind that back in, what was it, 2013 when GTA 5 came out, in that 4 to 5 years that it took to get 85 million copies sold, it was on more than just two consoles, or three if you count Series X and S as two separate consoles. It was also on PC. And Grand Theft Auto 5, like Skyrim before it, is one of the games that's been ported to just the most platforms. And not only is it on way more platforms, but over those several years, it had gone on sale. If GTA 6 is on track to sell 85 million copies in 2 months, it's probably not dropping in price anytime in that 2 months. So $80 or $100, I don't think that's been confirmed anywhere, but we'll go with $80 because that's what the venture capitalist guy is using in his calculations. All in all, he says so $7.6 billion in revenue. Is that what it says? Yeah, $7.66 billion in revenue. Whether it has been confirmed at 100 or not, that's not the number that Josh here is using for his projections. So, but also Grand Theft Auto 5 was not $80 either. It was, I'm pretty sure it was 60. Definitely wasn't 80. So you have a game that's more expensive, less time, almost certainly no sales, and on less consoles, or platforms rather. And and in 2 months it's going to be the third best-selling game of all time, just ahead of which would put it just ahead of Wii Sports, which was a pack-in outside of Japan. So looking at what sales data I could find without spending hours on this crap, it looks like currently PlayStation 5, which seems to include PlayStation 5 Pro, has sold a little north of 75 million. So probably 77, somewhere around there. I also think that's shipped. I think that's sold to retailers, not necessarily. I think some of those 77 million are sitting on store shelves around the world, but whatever, we'll go with that number. Xbox Series X and S seems to be in the low 30s somewhere, so 31 to 33 million. Now, I'm sure that Sony and Microsoft will sell more consoles over the course of the next year. So they are sitting at just over 100 million consoles. Also keeping in mind that there's some people who own both a PlayStation and an Xbox and are rather unlikely to buy GTA 6 for both. It's probably going to be one or the other. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap there. So how many consoles are we looking at by this time next year? 130, 135 million maybe? So 85 million. So we're looking at nearly a 70% attach rate, if not a little bit more. This guy's like, oh man, almost every single individual person who has a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series XS, they're going to buy GTA 6 in the first 2 months for 80 bucks. I'm guessing not. Not in 2 months. No. How confident am I? Well, if Grand Theft Auto 6, even if they, and excuse me. And if Rockstar announces, more platforms, it's coming to the PC. It's launching on PC also, and the Switch too. Great. So if Grand Theft Auto 6 sells 85 million copies in the first 60 days from whenever it launches, I will donate an extra $1,000 to Rady Children's via that year's Extra Life charity event, on top of whatever I would have donated in the first place. So yeah, hey, hopefully I'm wrong. And more money for the children! So, I'm pretty sure this is a scam, because pretty much everything venture capital does is a scam. But I don't know enough about this to really identify what the scam is. Yeah, that's why I'm counting units sold, Chaos. He does say 7.66 million in revenue, but that's broken down among uh, uh, sales of individual copies, which he's pricing at 80 bucks. But it's also from recurring subscriptions for GTA Plus, which is $8.99 according to this. And there's some other cost in here somewhere. I'm not sure what it is, but it adds up to 7.66 million. From game sales, he's saying 6. Does that say 6.8? Kind of a. Let me. Yeah, 6.8. 6.8 billion just from the game sales alone. That's why I'm going with units. So whether it's the standard edition or physical, digital, or the collector's edition, which will probably be $130 or whatever, because it comes with a little statue of the two characters in the game. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. If it sells 85 million copies in 2 months, I'll donate an extra grand to Rady Children's for the charity event that year. So, hey, I'd love to be wrong. Now, I think Josh Chapman of Convoy is knowingly overestimating the success of this game's launch period. I have no doubt that it's going to be an amazingly successful launch. I think it's going to sell a shit ton. But not 85 million. Not even close. So, what's the angle here? What's the scam? Because, unsurprisingly, disappointingly, but unsurprisingly, the vast majority of the entertainment press I read on this subject just repeated what he said pretty much uncritically. Like, VC guy at Convoy says this game will sell this much in this amount of time. Our work here is done. To be fair, I saw at least two that blithely suggested as an aside, no, probably not, but didn't really look into it particularly strongly. Like you might expect a journalist to do. So, Mr. Chapman of Convoy appears to me to want to convince the public, including entertainment media and just, general goofballs like me, that this game is going to be stupendously successful. Just the greatest individual launch of a video game by like an order of magnitude, right? And he seems to be succeeding in that because, again, the entertainment press broadly is just repeating what he's saying completely uncritically and with absolutely no historical context at all. Um, so, all right. Josh is not a moron, let's assume. Probably a scummy person because he venture capitalist, but probably not a complete moron. Probably knows that it's insane to predict that this thing's going to sell 85 million in 2 months. That's almost certainly not going to happen. Okay, but if he can convince people that it might or will, if he can successfully create the narrative, the expectation that this game is going to sell 85 million in 2 months, then when it doesn't come anywhere close to that after too much, then he... What? What's the scam? I don't know. I don't have an answer here. I don't know enough about this stuff to know how. I don't know. I don't know how that benefits him or his company at all. I also am not entirely clear what the relationship between Convoy and Rockstar or Take-Two is. So, like, if the game doesn't meet expectations, how would that benefit him? Is there a clause in a contract somewhere? It's like, I mean, is he overvaluing it to try and convince other people to invest more money than they should in it, or maybe open up to more investment from him so he can have more of a controlling interest? And I have no idea. I'm pretty sure this is bullshit and knowing bullshit, but I have no idea what the scam is. Not a moron, possibly a generous statement, says Chaos. Yeah. Do I like GTA? Can't imagine me playing it. Not really. I played Chinatown Wars on the DS. It's alright. I've played a little bit of 3 and San Andreas and little of Vice City. I liked Vice City better just because the aesthetics I thought were more fun. It's bright and colorful, whereas San Andreas is just kind of brown and orange and just kind of a smeary mess. But I only played it for like 20 minutes. Like I didn't really, I never owned either of them. I don't remember if if it was like a demo kiosk in the mall. I mean, probably not. I don't think those would be demoed in the mall or in Toys R Us or whatever. R.I.P. Another organization destroyed by venture capital. Like, do they own enough of a? Do they already own enough equity in Rockstar, Take-Two, something that matters, that if they can create the perception that the game's actually a failure, they can strip Rockstar for parts? Maybe that's it? It's like, oh, you fell way... Everyone knew you were going to sell 85 million and you only sold like 30 million in 2 months, which is amazing, but yeah, that's not even half of what you should have sold. We're just gonna have to fire everybody at Rockstar and sell all the office furniture. I don't know. This feels like a scam to me because it's so absurd, but it's probably one of those things that's just like, it's so stupid you can't figure it out. I've had scammers call me before and I'm like, I have no idea how to even fall for your scam. I don't even know what you're after. How do I give you my money? So I did not play Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5, just didn't really have any interest in them. 6, they haven't shown any gameplay yet, so maybe I don't know when they start marketing the game as a game. Uh, Maybe I'll be like, ooh, that looks like fun. Yeah, I like action games. I like shooters. I like I don't really like car racing, but I do like I for example I like the true crime games, True Crime Streets of L.A. and True Crime New York, and also the what was the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie? No, it's just Sleeping Dogs. I like all those games, so maybe I'd be into a Grand Theft. I'm certainly not paying $80 or more for it, but so I'm probably not buying it in the first 2 months, like Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'd love to play Donkey Kong Bonanza, but one, I don't have a Switch 2, and number two, I'm paying $70 for that game. So, Take Two would never give up Rockstar. They are the golden goose. You would think that. I don't doubt you're right, but I've seen a lot of companies do a lot of genuinely stupid shit. You know, like when Microsoft started buying an insane number of studios, and everyone was like, "Oh, that ain't gonna pan out well," and here we are. You know, all these so many of these companies have to fire thousands of people every single year. I have no idea how the fuck Phil Spencer is still employed as a CEO because he's terrible at his job. Seriously, if you run an organization and you have to lay off 10,000 people a year, you suck at your job. But he's laying off 10,000 people a year and making himself and, his investors insanely rich. Because, if you don't have to pay 10,000 people, you can just give that money to yourself. Um, so a lot of the time it's just you end up not looking at it the right way. So, what was gameplay? Was there a gameplay trailer? The last GTA 6 trailer I saw was all it was almost all. I mean, there may have been a few cuts of gameplay in it, but it was almost all story stuff, so. All right, well, hopefully it sells 85 million in 2 months and more money for the chillins. That'd be cool. I'm not gonna I am going to actually earmark some money over the next year just in case. I'm not gonna put it in escrow or anything. Trust me. All right, so let's see. If I made playing GTA 5 for the first time, it would do well. Yeah, maybe. I just don't really have any desire to play it. So, Phil Spencer walks onto stage wearing a Battletoads t-shirt, though. Gamers. Oh, I don't think many people are fooled. Like, Phil Spencer is, so false. I don't know. It's clear that this guy does not. That whole t-shirt, blazer, jacket. I'm one of the howdy do fellow kids. It's like no, no, just no. Hire a spokesperson. Stop putting the goddamn CEOs as the brand ambassadors. They're genuinely terrible at this shit. I don't know why so many companies keep putting people who are terrible at PR and communications as brand ambassadors. It's such a weird decision. It's probably they don't want to pay someone to do it. it's probably all it is. You'll buy me GTA 5 if I stream it? Oh god. The whole thing or just one stream? I imagine GTA 5 is pretty cheap right now, right? Um, I don't know. I guess. I mean, I'm not opposed to playing it. I just don't, never had that much interest in it. Let's see, Gearbox is not. Yeah, because Randy Pitchford. Let's see. Gearbox has not learned from that lesson with Randy Pitchford, where they just put him in his stupid little Hawaiian shirt. It's like, do some magic, Randy. Or what's oh God, who's Bethesda's? It's Todd Howard, right? God, he's terrible. They're all so bad at this. Ah. I mean, at least the dudes at Nintendo, everyone from Miyamoto to Iwata when he was alive, to Reggie Fils-Aimé, I mean, they're all dorks, but they lean into that. You know, Pitchford, Howard, Spencer, these guys are just. You know how dipshits on social media would point at ladies playing games and be like, oh, fake gamer. You know, that stupid bullshit? Those guys are fake gamers. I don't believe them for a minute. Which is not to say they don't play video games. I'm sure they do. Most people do play some form of video game, at least at some times. But I don't. Their passion for gaming as an art is. I'm not buying it at all. At all. I don't think these. I imagine most of these guys do play stuff now and then, but I don't think like it's. It reads to me that they're being just completely disingenuous about their professed passion for the artistry of gameplay as an art and storytelling and no, I don't believe you at all. I mean, I think you'd have a bit more consideration for the artists that you fire by the thousands every year if you actually believed any of that. Jared says, I think Todd is good. Look at how many people he fools. I mean, people keep buying Bethesda games even though they don't work. Oh, hey, a Fallout game. All right. Maybe it'll work this time. Nope. But I shelled out for the really cool canvas duffel bag. Oh, it's not canvas. Well, that's a shame. It's plastic. Oh man, Fallout 76. Boy, was that a mess. Oh no, it's pretty good after 2 or 3 years of updates. It's kind of okay now. I've sunk so much cost into this. Oh, golly. Most female gamers aren't actually gamers? What the hell are you talking about? Gamers are gamers. People who play games are gamers. Doesn't matter what kind of game, doesn't matter how into it they are. Lots of ladies game. Gaming is one of the most popular pastimes in the world. Most of the people I see who are obviously lying about being gamers are the CEOs. And to be clear, they are gamers in the sense that I'm sure they do play games, but again, just to clarify, what I'm talking about them lying about is their passion for gaming and the artistry behind it, right? I don't think they really care about that much. You know, when they're talking about their portfolio of games, I don't think most of them are like, oh man, these games are just so great. They're so immersive and emotionally connecting, and people really like them, and they can change lives. Hell, people have gone into different educational fields. Have furthered their education on certain paths because of things that they learn in video games, learn new languages, learn all that kind of. No, it's just like this game sells a lot and makes me money. That's about the most I get from most of these people. So, dude, don't be a sexist asshole, okay? Don't do that. It's a really, really bad luck. Don't be like, oh, girls aren't gamers. They only play Candy Crush. First of all, Candy Crush is a video game. So don't be a sexist asshole. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, moving on. Secret level. There is a anthology series on Amazon Prime, I think, and I believe it's co-produced at least by Sony, which was an anthology. Yes, an anthology series is an anthology, obviously. Anthology series of shorts based on individual game IPs, and it's not very good, in my very humble opinion. So, hang on, gotta move some stuff around my notes here. There we are. So I watched the whole thing. I finally got around to it, and one nice thing about anthologies is variety. And while there are a variety of IPs represented, the aesthetic is pretty samey throughout. One of the things I like about the similar anthology, Ghosts, Life, Death, and Robot, Love, Death, Sex, Death, and Robots, something like that. I think that's on Netflix. It's an anthology of shorts, but they're all so different from each other, both in visual aesthetics and tone. You get a large variety of different experiences, right? With Secret Level, there's 15, 16 episodes. The vast majority of them are dark and gritty and with a mostly desaturated color palette and, adult and edgy. Secret Level feels like something a 13-year-old, a particularly edgy 13-year-old, would have written back in like 2010, right? Which is not to say it's not enjoyable. I enjoyed a good bit of it. The animation is actually quite good most of the time. It's very interesting to look at a lot of the time, dark though it may be. But there's just not much variety. Everything is just, it's super dark and serious, and it's it's edgy, and it's so cool. We're gonna spell things with an X, kind of a vibe you get from most of it. The reinterpretations of the various IPs go grimdark most of the time. Which is not a bad thing, but there's, as I said, there's 15 or 16 different shorts, and they all feel kind of the same. I'm not entirely sure what the, goal of this series was. Because it was just, hey, we've got a bunch of neat IPs, let's, get a bunch of cool studios together and they can pick an IP and do a short story, reimagine that IP in any way they want, and we can have a nice variety of little shorts and people will like it. I don't think if that's fine, but I don't think it succeeds on those merits, mainly because most of the IPs are so divorced from their source material, not always, but so commonly divorced from their source materials, they're almost unrecognizable. Or it might be hey, we want to sell some upcoming games. Also sounds reasonable. Because one of them is Sifu, but that came out like 2 years ago, and there isn't a new game on the horizon. I guess they just want to sell Sifu. And that one was about as direct a translation of the source material as you can get. I mean, it was just like watching someone play Sifu for 12 minutes. That's a little reductive, but, they didn't do really much interesting with it. Some things are radically reinterpreted, and some is just like, this is just Sifu. Okay. Mega Man is in there, but there's no new Mega Man game on the horizon that we know of. We haven't had a new one in years. And again, it was kind of this one was a little more cartoony than the others, but still Not quite the reinterpretation of Bomberman that we saw like what was it, 12 years ago or something like that, but heading in that direction. Nowhere near that far. Um, what else is there? Oh, the Spelunky, but I mean that's been out for a decade. That was actually probably my favorite of the shorts, because it was it tonally and thematically felt like Spelunky, but it also had something to say. It actually had a narrative thesis to chew on. You know, it was a pondering, and it was using the mechanics of the game to ponder these existential questions about uh life and repeating that life over and over until you get it right. It was fun. It was a nice little short. I think that's probably my favorite. Um, so I don't think it's doing a great job of selling upcoming games because one, most of these games are either don't have any are fairly old at this point, don't have a new game coming out, or are so far removed from the source material they're not even recognizable as a game. The Pac-Man one is clearly recognizable as at least tonally similar to something Labyrinth. I forget what the hell it's called, but Shadow Labyrinth, I think it's called, which came out recently, this week, next week, something like that. But it's also not clear that it ties into that. So there's no buy Shadow Labyrinth coming to these platforms on this day. There's none of that. So I don't think it does a great job of representing the IPs. I don't think it does a great job of giving us the variety that one would hope an anthology series would. And I don't think it does a great job of just selling these games. So not great as a series, unfortunately. And I think the last one, which I appreciate what they were trying to do, but was just the worst. The last one is it's where they you think it's going to be like a combination of everything, but no, it's about a gal doing like bike delivery, but she's got like this AI companion, and she breaks free from the shackles of AI to play games the way they were meant to be, and she has fun doing, playing her own way by her own rules. And you have cameos from a lot of video game characters that you'll see in various different games. Kratos is in there, the Helldivers are in there, and she's violating freedom. Get her. They're really funny. The problem I had with that one, again, well animated, the action was fine, it was fun, it was fine. The problem I have with it is, like the CEOs being the brand ambassadors, it comes off as false when a corporation makes a little short talking about all the really shitty stuff that it does that no one likes. It's like, oh man, isn't it terrible when corporations lock you in a certain way to play and litter their stuff with AI garbage? That's nonsense, right? And are you with me? We're chums, right? And it's like, Sony, you're the one doing that. It doesn't work when you point out the shitty things that you do and are continuing to do. It's actually kind of insulting. I was genuinely annoyed by that short. I mean, I would imagine that a hearty FU is not the response they were looking for in their audience, right? But I mean, that's the response it prompted from me. It's like, oh, piss off, be a middle finger extended, right? It's like, oh, all those EULAs and the forced logins for different accounts and all this AI garbage. Right, right. It's like, what are you even doing? Yes, you are right, but you're also still doing all that, you jackass. Someday, dear chat, someday you will be able to slap people over the internet. E-slap. Give Sony an E-slap. Just stop it. Bad Sony. Uh, Mega Man 1 was good, would watch a series of that. 40K 1 was good as well. I mean, it was interesting to watch. But if you, I would assume if you know the lore of 40K, it might make sense. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I mean, because I don't play for I mean, I would hope that if you know 40K, it makes a lot more sense. But also, you do want it to stand alone a bit, at least, to appeal to a new audience. Because if you're excluding a new audience, that's probably not the best path. I mean, it was gooey, and you had cool guys in armor stabbing monsters. It's fine, but I had no idea what the hell was going on. Shadow Labyrinth came out on Thursday. Okay, it came out this week. Okay, yeah. Tekken had a cool Netflix. I don't remember. I saw one that I didn't watch it, but the animation style was just really, really bad. I don't know if it's Tekken. It was probably something else, but there was this weird thing. Like I watched the trailer, and then I watched like a clip I saw, and there's this weird thing where everyone casts this weird triangular shadow on everything. I'm like, what is going on with that? So weird. I mean, that's a weird aesthetic thing to pick up on and have a problem with, but it really bothered me. Don't know if that was Tekken or something else, but oh yeah, it is kind of like the movie Free Guy. Something similar, but um yeah, you do have to be careful when you're criticizing. Using art to critique things is great, but it comes off as manifestly disingenuous when you are using art to critique the things that you're doing and continuing to do and aren't going to stop doing. Because then it feels like, oh, all the shit that you hate, we know. We know you hate that, but we're not going to stop because we also know that you can't do anything about it. And you're just going to keep buying our stuff, aren't you? That's right, little piggies. Slurp up the slop we serve you. We know it's garbage. We filled the trough. And we know you hate it. You hate it so much. Why you keep whining, but you keep buying our shit, so we're just going to keep doing it. And we're going to let you know that we know we're pissing you off. We know that what we're doing is wrong and shitty and user unfriendly. But we're not going to stop. That's what it feels like. Doesn't feel good, does it? No. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. It's kind of like a lot of the satire in The Boys. Rings a little hollow coming from fucking Amazon, doesn't it? You know? Um, so yeah. So Secret Level is all right. It not. I don't think it's successful, but I don't think it was a waste of my time to watch. There was some fun stuff in it. I enjoyed a fair bit of it. The animation was almost uniformly very, very cool. Whatever you think of the aesthetics or the tone or the messaging. A couple of shorts I actually quite liked. But yeah, overall, I just find it a shame because I think it was a missed opportunity. I haven't seen the fourth season again because Netflix doesn't work for me. But I've really enjoyed the Love, Death, Robots. I think it's called anthology. Um, for those reasons, there's a lot of interesting variety. A lot mixed bag, of course. Some shorts are better than others, but um, there's usually a few real strong standouts, and the rest of them are like, fine. With Secret Level, it was mainly just maybe 10 lame ones, 5 okay to not too bad ones. Right? Even the best one, the for me, I think would probably be the Spelunky one. I didn't think it was great. I just thought it's like, oh, that one's pretty good. You know? 15 episodes in an anthology, and the best you got is, yeah, that was pretty good. Missed opportunity. I don't think it advertises or celebrates the IPs well, for the most part. I don't think it advertises the games very well for the most part. Although that I don't particularly care about because I'm not trying to sell them. Um, but you know, I like video games and I like art and animation, and I thought this could have been a lot better. So, better luck next time. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thanks for hanging out and listening. Hope you enjoyed, and I will be streaming some more Trails of Cold Steel tomorrow, so hope to see you there for that. Until then, have a good night, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.